I found myself thinking about the multitudes around me. They were living carelessly in the most open and shameless rebellion against God, without a thought for their eternal welfare. As I looked out of the coach window, I seemed to see them all. Millions of people given up to their drink, to their pleasure, dancing, and their music, their business, their anxieties, their politics and troubles. They were ignorant, willfully ignorant in many cases, and in other instances, knowing all about the truth but not caring at all. Suddenly, as I thought about them, I had a vision. In it, I saw a dark and stormy ocean over which black clouds hung heavily. Every now and then, vivid lightning flashed and loud thunder rolled, while the winds drove foaming waves into a tempest that was claiming lives. There were myriads cursing, struggling, and drowning, and as I watched some of them sink to rise no more. Then I noticed a mighty rock that rose up out of the dark, angry ocean. Its peak towered high above the platform. Onto this platform I saw with delight that there were a number of the poor struggling wretches. They were continually climbing out of the angry ocean. And I saw a few of those who were already safe on the platform, helping others up onto the rock. Many were working with ladders, ropes, and boats to rescue those who were drowning. Occasionally, someone actually jumped into the water, regardless of the consequences, in their passion to rescue the perishing. I hardly know which sight delighted me more, the sight of the people that were rescued standing on the platform, or the devotion and the self-sacrifice of those who had rescued them. Looking more closely, I realized that the people on the platform were quite a mixed company. They occupied themselves in different ways. Some spent their days trading, while others amused themselves by dressing up for the admiration of their peers. Many were chiefly concerned with eating and drinking, and yet others were taken up with arguing about the people that had already been rescued. Only very few of them made it their business to rescue people from the sea. What puzzled me most was the fact that although all of them had been rescued from the ocean at one time or other, nearly everyone seemed to have forgotten about it. And what seemed equally strange was that they did not even seem to care about the people who were drowning right before their eyes, many of whom were their own spouses, brothers and sisters, even their own children. Those on the rock had received a call from the Lord, who had himself gone down into the sea. They'd heard his voice. They felt that they ought to obey it, or at least they said they should. They professed that they loved the Lord and to sympathize with him in the task that he had undertaken. But they were so distracted by their profession, their pleasures, and their preparation for going to the mainland that they didn't help him. So the multitude went right on before them, struggling, shrieking, and drowning in the darkness. Then I noticed that some of the people on the platform were crying out to him to come to them. Many wanted the Lord to spend his time and his strength in making them happier. Others wanted him to take away various doubts that they had concerning the truth of some letters he had written. Some wanted him to make them feel more secure on the rock, so secure that they would be so sure they would never slip off again. So they would meet and they would climb high on the rock, and then they would cry, "Come to us, Lord, come help us." And all the while, the Lord was down among the drowning in the sea, wanting to rescue them. And the Lord was looking to those who were on the platform, on the rock, to come and help. Then I understood it all. The sea was the ocean of human existence. The lightning was the piercing truth coming from the throne of God. The thunder was a distant echoing of God's wrath to come. The multitude struggling in the stormy sea were the lost ones. They were ungodly people of every kindred, tongue, and nation. The great sheltering rock represented Calvary, the place where Jesus had died for them, and the people on it were those who had been rescued. The way they used their energies, their gifts, and their time represented the occupations and amusements of those who had been saved. The handful of determined ones that risked their lives to save the perishing were the true soldiers of the cross. The Lord calling on the one calling on the rescued to help him rescue others was Jesus himself. Fellow Christians, have we been rescued from the waters? Yet is the Lord still in the sea calling us to come and help? We must not be deceived by appearances. Men and things are not what they seem. All who are not on the rock are in the sea. Jesus is in the midst of the dying multitude struggling. He wants to save them. He wants us to jump and help. Will we jump or will we linger on the bank, singing and praying about perishing souls? We must lay aside our shame and pride, our cares, and the opinions of others, and all of the selfish loves that have held us back for so long, and rush to the rescue of dying men and women. Unquestionably, the surging sea is dark and dangerous. The leap means difficulty, scorn, and suffering for all who take it. Yet the Lord beckons us from the sea, knowing what it will mean and knowing He still bids us to come. We have enjoyed our Christianity long enough. Going down among the perishing is our duty. From now on, our ease will depend on sharing their pain, and our heaven is going into the very jaws of hell to rescue them. Now, what will we do?